Katie says, for selling signed copies of books, do you recommend Etsy or should I create a store on my website? No, never Etsy. Etsy is not valuable anymore. They have way too many issues. They've got way too much price hikes. You need to be selling this directly through your website. You should not be doing it anywhere else. None of these little places, nobody's coming to find you on Etsy. Nobody is coming to find you anywhere else. So we're not paying a bunch of fees to other companies to have our books sit around and not be marketed. You are going to do this on your website. You should have your own shopping cart. If you are an entrepreneur of any kind and you're selling products or services, you need to have your own shopping cart. There's lots of different options for this. I do have one that I recommend that I work with. I've worked with for many, many years. And the cool thing about that program is that allows you to make your offer, but then when they click on that, you can upsell them. So you can say, oh, I see that you wanted this. Would you also like this? This is similar because, and based on their decisions, you can go up or down in price. So for example, I can say, okay, you have purchased a copy of my novel. Would you also like to buy a copy of, I almost dropped my stack of things here. Would you also like to buy a copy of the second book? If you say yes, I will probably also offer you the third book or the completed omnibus series. If you say no, maybe I'll offer you one of my novellas. It's a cheaper price point. You can go up, you can go down, but it's part of the built-in system. And the thing that I like about my checkout cart is that it is just a monthly subscription. You just pay the fee. There is no additional fees. So it's not like you're paying a percentage of every sale you make, meaning it's just one staple price. And anything you make above that is pure profit, baby. It's not like you're giving parts of your profits to things. So you're getting your own checkout cart, you're integrating it with your website, and you're just selling it directly through what you are doing. You also then have the ability to set up your sales pages. You have the ability to have options there. You can do some really cool things to integrate it to make it look directly part of your website. It is just much more professional. So we do not work with places like Etsy. We do not work with places like some of those other things that, you know, authors who want to do cheapy things that don't actually end up being cheap at all, really expensive to work with Etsy. We're not doing any of that. You should be responsible enough to understand that your author life is a business and you have to treat your business like a business, which means you do have to have your own checkout cart. If you need examples of that, I actually have a lot that I talk about over on my main YouTube channel, youtube.com/KMRobinson. Yes, that was correct. I almost launched into the author one, but I've got a lot of different options and information over there. We talk about how to automate these things, and those checkout carts also allow you to do a ton of other things as well. So you get a ton of bang for your buck when it comes to that. Highly recommend that you are immediately, as soon as you start to sell them on your own. If you want to just leave it on Amazon, if you just want to leave it on Barnes & Noble, that's fine. I actually prefer to sell through Amazon, Barnes & Noble, all of those platforms rather than do it myself because it's so much extra work to have to take the order the book, sign the book, package the book, take it to the post office and send it to people. It is not worth our time and effort unless you're getting a ton of them and you're just making a trip like once a month to the post office. For most people, it actually, the time commitment that it takes to do all of those things yourself just shatters your profit on that. There's no reason to do it. So unless somebody really wants a signed copy, I prefer to go through Amazon or Barnes & Noble or wherever it happens to be because I don't then have to do any of the work. It's only for signed copies, and I will only offer those certain times of the year at this point because it just got to be too much with everybody needing signed copies all the time and at different times. So I do it specific times. I will offer them. And then I also offer them at like book conventions and things like that. But that's an entirely different conversation. You should have your own checkout cart for this. It should be integrated with your website and it should be ready to go as soon as you decide to sell things by hand from your website. If you don't have a website, you're a professional, you need a website, make sure you get that integrated. And if you need help with checkout cart ideas or thoughts, or you want to run some by me, feel free. I've got lots of options. I've worked with a lot of them. My clients have worked with a lot of them, so I know a lot of the behind the scenes, and I will happily let you know what will and will not work for you.